Delphi is a global company. It's truly more international than it is North American. As you went into new markets, new countries, who welcomed you and who stood in the way?
That's a good question. I will say what's occurred around the globe, and for that matter, even here, because we have a strong presence here, is the one thing that I talked about that has to happen in order to be successful. And that is government and business working together. We have been welcomed by the governments around the world, and including here in the States, in terms of allowing us to have efficient and effective tax structures, access to roads, infrastructure, and being very supportive in terms of policy and funding. And that's the way you move forward, business and government working together along with the local community. So we've been welcomed with open arms everywhere we've operated. And it's along those lines of collaboration and moving the ball forward with a common goal.
Bring you back to the U.S. Hindsight's always 20/20. You took a pathway to redefine yourself. The federal government took different pathways with General Motors and with Chrysler. Do you think they did the right thing in your situation? If they had done something different, would the end outcome be different?
Well, we didn't have the federal government working with us, so the one thing I did notice that it was a lot faster with the federal government. So it does teach you a lot about leverage. And so I have learned that. I thought I knew physics before, but now I do seriously understand leverage. You know, every company has to deal with their own realities differently, and you shouldn't second guess anything as long as at the end of the day you can ask the question, was it worth it and did it work? Okay? And at the end of the day, that's the scoreboard, is did it work? And from where I stand when I look at Delphi in terms of the top and bottom line expansion, the tremendous diversity customer-wise and geographical reach and our future, it's incredible and it was worth it.
Let's take a minute to talk about customers. You were a General Motors captive customer. You're very different now. Can you describe what your customer profile might look like, and then at the end, talk about your non-automotive businesses?
Well, let me start with the non-automotive, and by non-automotive, it's defined as non-light duty, which it accounts for right around 10% of our company. And it has a CAGR that's around 15%, and that would include heavy duty, motorcycles, marine, and even some very non-traditional areas where we can rotate our technology into residential and commercial heating and cooling and those kinds of things. So we have a tremendous amount of diversity there. Our customer base reads like a who's who of the OEMs, the ones that have gained tremendous market share and traction. You would know them, their household words: VW, Daimler, Fiat, Hyundai, Toyota. I could go on, and the problem is when you start listing, you'll forget someone. So I'm going to apologize now because I don't have time to list them all, but they're all there.
New customers, new products usually means new technology. The world is accelerating, change is accelerating. How do you assure yourself that you have the capability to stay ahead of the curve?
Well, one, you need to have the funding to support the technical challenges that the world is facing. We spend well over $1 billion a year on technology development and implementation. So I think the funding's there. The other thing is you have to make sure you stay on top of the trends, and we've done that. So we have members of the team that are looking out over the horizon saying, what's going on with the consumer? And what are answers to some of the problems that consumers have today? And more importantly, describing solutions that the consumer really hasn't focused in on yet, that they don't even know that they know. And so that's how you stay relevant. And it's really important because I said this earlier in a sidebar, but I'll say it to you because I think it's an important salient point. You Getting to the top is difficult. No one can speak to that more than I think me and my team. Staying there is harder. So keep that in mind as you go about your business every day. Being the best of the best is no easy trip. But being able to say that week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out is on another order of difficulty, because the whole world is focused on number one and making you no longer relevant.
Talking about new technology, this person says, think about affordability. The median income in the state of Michigan's dropped $10,000 in the last decade. How can you be sure that what you're developing is affordable to the customer?
That's a good point. Well, part of the technology investigation is price points. There's a lot of great technology out there that never went anywhere because it costs too much, and so we try to ensure that affordability is part of it. And if it's not, then odds are it's not going to be coming to market. So the way you'll know that, if you see it and it's from Delphi, you know it works. It works technically, it works financially. Otherwise, you won't be seeing it at all. All right?
Can you take a minute to talk about product development process? You know, what % of the ideas finally make it to market? And when you kill an idea, at what point does it go to the shelf to say we really can't develop this now?
I'm going to answer that a little differently, because there's certain things I don't want our competitors to know. Yeah, but I'll say this. One way we addressed this, and it was really critical, by going to a much leaner and focused product portfolio, which is the 119 product lines down to the 35. And from there, we could spend more money on less things and have a greater impact. I'd say most of the ideas, and I won't give a percentage, most of the ideas don't make it to market. What's great about the ones that don't is very little is actually new invention today. What's new is taking technologies from over here, and from over there, and from here, and something someone thought of 10 years ago, and something someone thought of 5 minutes ago, putting them together innovatively and creating something of value. That's how it works at Delphi.
There's a person here that must have a smartphone. They want to know if Delphi is going to create an app for the smartphone. This doesn't say a competitor on the bottom here, just so you know.
I was meeting with our electronics guys, and they do want to set up an app store. I talked them out of that because when I looked at them, none of them were 12 years old. And I sort of figured they didn't know how to write it like these guys. So we do have some wonderful technology that will be aimed at this space, where you can connect your smartphone to the vehicle and have it displayed there. And app management will be part of our technology solution, because of driver distraction is a key issue. So we will be managing apps there, and we will also have, I'm going to let them do a few. We'll have some of our own things there for management of that device interface.
Right. And there must be someone in the audience that's thinking about getting a Volt or an equivalent vehicle that wants to know, when will we see announcements, the details on the wireless car charger?
Well, we're going to talk about it today. The announcement in terms of when it's coming to market, well, we need to work on it a little bit. It does work, but we got to make it robust. We've got to get it ready for the market, and we've got to hit that price point you guys talked about earlier. And then when we subtract the price from my cost, there needs to be some margin left there so that our shareholders have a significant return. We're excited about it. We'll spend more time talking to you about when it's coming, but it's got to get here soon, otherwise it's going to miss the boat. Electric vehicles are on the way.